You're listening to episode 27 of Leaders on Purpose podcast.
Hi there. Welcome to Leaders on Purpose podcast. This is your host, Manal Bernoussi. I am a multi-passionate mom of twins and a corporate executive in Casablanca, Morocco, living and sharing my personal development journey. In this podcast, we're looking to develop the skills, habits, and mindset to reveal our full potential for a greater purpose. I'll be inviting inspiring people, beautiful souls, Moroccans, Canadians, Americans, Nigerians, and more. People from all backgrounds and different nationalities to inspire us to live our true purpose and create great impact. So join me every other Sunday and let's make this happen.
Hi everyone, this is Manal speaking. Welcome to the very first episode of 2023. Here we are at the beginning of a new year. I am so excited to be here with you. I am always grateful for our time together. I'm sitting on my desk with a cup of hot tea. If you can, go grab yourself your beverage of choice. I thought I would do a short and sweet episode to tie off the year, to reflect, and to really welcome in this new year together. As I shared before, I like to use these milestones to take a pause and reflect. I do that for birthdays. I did it for the first podcast anniversary. Go check episode 23, one of my favorites. It's called 12 Lessons Learned from the Past 12 Months. And I do it each year for the new year. And while it may only mark a symbolic end to another lap around the sun, New Year's for me feel like an irresistible chance to hit the reset button. It's a great time to reflect, to let go of what's not serving us anymore, and to ponder on our upcoming years. I personally am not a big fan of New Year's resolutions. That is something I learned over the past years. I do not do New Year resolutions anymore. Research shows that up to 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by mid-February. 80% after a few days or a few weeks only. You see, a resolution is a promise you make to yourself, and that's a big deal. When you keep a promise to yourself, you grow to learn you can trust your own word, your abilities, and character. And when you don't, you learn that you can't rely on yourself to get things done. It's sort of an intimate relationship of self-trust, distrust, keeping, breaking, and building again. And that's why resolutions are, in my opinion, often tied to harsh self-criticism. They come with a lot of expectations. We contemplate the aspects of our lives that need fixing and decide we'll fix them all. But it doesn't work that way, does it? It takes more than just a resolution. It usually takes a change of identity. It takes real, lasting change. So rather than setting New Year resolutions, I now set an intention for my new year. It's usually a word or two that will sum up my approach to the year ahead. It's less overwhelming than a whole list of things, and it gives me direction without trapping me in a predefined list of things to achieve, which usually comes with disappointments down the road when you're stuck with a list. So 2021's intention was transformation. At that time, we all just had a rough year with the whole COVID situation. And at the same time, I really felt COVID put a magnifying glass under my life. It made me realize that I needed to become more intentional about everything and fully savor the journey. It was the start of a more intentional transformation journey for myself. And with intention comes clarity. I had started my personal development journey since 2014, reading books, attending trainings and workshops, but since COVID, something critical happened that reminded me of how precious life is, how nothing is to be taken for granted, not my freedom, not the stability around me, and certainly not my health. So I hired a coach and started my new fitness journey, and with that came a new lifestyle. So 2 years ago, the word was transformation. Last year's word was purpose. My clear intention was to align more with my life's purpose. To clarify what that is, and I intentionally worked on that. So for the last year, I had my life's purpose, my vision written on my notebook, and every day I would check it out to rewire my brain and focus on it. If you would like to dig deeper on this topic and learn more about the process that helps me define my life's purpose and how I articulated it, you can go check episode 4 on the main page of the podcast. Now for 2023, my intention is new beginnings. These words keep coming up in my mind again and again, which is why it is so important to clear up some space for your thoughts to land. New beginnings is definitely my intention for 2023. I feel I have completed a full cycle, if that makes sense, and I am now ready for the next chapter in my life. I am ready to take a new leap, to push a little further and live my life as an experiment, taking more risks, getting out of my comfort zone, challenging assumptions, trying different things, not being afraid to push boundaries, not afraid of failure. It's all really about opening up to experimentation in order to grow more. Because there's no denying inside of me that the only thing that is going to make us happy, you, me, all of us, in the year ahead and the decades ahead, is living an experience where on a regular basis we get the feeling that we're making progress in our lives. Getting things is not going to make you happy. It doesn't matter what you get. It doesn't matter if it's more money or an opportunity or a great corner office with a view. All those things will excite you for a moment, but if you do not push yourself to keep growing, it will not excite you anymore. There is no such thing in nature as being stagnant. The universe is expanding. Plants are growing. So if you feel stuck somewhere, it's probably time to take some massive determined action and create some real change. There is a great quote by Eckhart Tolle that says, "Any action is often better than no action, especially if you have been stuck in an unhappy situation for a long time. If it is a mistake, at least you learned something, in which case it's no longer a mistake. And if you remain stuck, you learn nothing and nothing changes." The secret to real happiness is progress. Progress equals happiness. And if we can make progress on a regular basis, we feel alive. And so that's why we get this feeling at the beginning of the year and we're like, okay, I get to have this fresh start. I can really do what my soul desires. I can move, I can change, or maybe even better, I get to progress. So if you want to make real progress, then you gotta take a look at your life in a different way. You gotta say, I'm gonna take real control of this process and not just hope for it to work out. Like some people do when they make a resolution. Because isn't that what people do when they make resolutions? They make a wish list. They make a list of all their wishes and they hope for it all to come together. But when it doesn't come together, they are disappointed. But at the same time, they're not too disappointed because they were not too much invested in it. Isn't that true? So instead of just wishing for it or hoping it will all work out, how about taking control of the process? And here's a process I learned last year from Jesse Etzler that worked out for me so well that I'm resolved to try it again this year. You can check episode 12. It's called Planning and Resetting for the New Year. I laid off there all the details for you. But in a nutshell, the system is that every year you decide for one big defining event. Because part of making progress in life is looking back and remembering each year one special event or experience that is part of your bucket list. And I do hope you have a bucket list for yourself. If not, take a pen and get started right now. No one is going to come take care of those experiences, dreams, and aspirations that you want to accomplish in your lifetime if you do not do it for yourself. So, this concept of one big defining thing comes actually from old Japanese wisdom. It's a ritual called misogi. And the notion around the misogi is that you do one thing so big that the benefit of it lasts the whole 364 days around that event. So one big defining event each year. It's simple, you think about it, you write it, and set a clear intention to make it happen. In 2020, for example, I attended my first ever Tony Robbins event, UPW Virtual, hired a fitness coach, and lost 20 pounds. I will never forget that turning point. In 2021, I launched Leaders on Purpose podcast. I connected with my purpose in life, and that is something that is going to stay with me for sure. It's out there, it's part of my legacy. In 2022, to celebrate my 40th birthday, we launched the #40Together initiative with childhood friends. And together, we bought an apartment for a 40-year-old widow and her 3 orphans. That is certainly a memory that I will cherish for the rest of my life. That itself was enough of a misogi for me. But I also got to attend both Tony Robbins' in-person event in Florida and Deepak Chopra's in-person event in Hawaii, which is absolutely crazy. And the same year, I earned my MBA degree. So instead of one misogi, I am so grateful, so grateful for all 4 of them. And I'm not saying that to brag about anything. I'm sharing that to say that it works. It actually really works. And I want it for you. I want to inspire you to experiment how powerful it is. Setting a clear intention for your year and following up with real action is a powerful thing to do. For 2023, with new beginnings as a guiding intention, I am planting a seed to the universe, to God, for a deep spiritual cleanse. To start fresh, I believe that for new beginnings to happen on a solid foundation, you have to take out the weed, to let go of the wounds. You have to clear the old to allow for the new to come in. And it applies to all areas in life, big or small. From decluttering your closet or your house to auditing your inner circle, the people around you, your job, your mind, and also your heart. I am ready to reinvent myself and start over with a clean slate. So step 1, decide for one big defining thing. Step 2, every other month, plan a mini adventure. It doesn't have to be crazy. It can be as simple as a game night with friends, but layer in 6 mini events and put them in your calendar throughout the year. Don't let the randomness strip you of that. Be intentional about it and make sure you are watering all your life buckets. Step 3, every quarter, focus on one new winning habit. Don't try to nail them all at once. Drinking more water, working out every day, journaling, meditating, praying, whatever it is for you, getting your daily steps in, doing your skincare, we're all doing our best to keep up with our expectations. So for the coming year, just focus with intention on one of them each quarter, while doing your best with the others, and watch how you'll feel after that. And also plan it out. Don't just think about it. Pull out your notebook and intentionally plan for it. So yes, instead of resolutions, I invite you to first clarify your intention for the year to come and swap your resolutions with specific actions. Take control of the process instead of focusing on the outcome. And also, instead of outward achievement, instead of less weight on the scale and more money in the bank, I encourage you to imagine the qualities you'd like to develop in yourself. Rather than focusing on what you want to do this year, perhaps consider who you'd like to be. Reflect and dream of the person you wish to become. Expand the vision of what is possible and trust that you have the strength and courage to become that very person. I wish all of us patience in our path because change takes time, and I wish for us to celebrate each tiny shift that we make, each moment of growth and change and insight. I wish for us to live in the field of gratitude every day, to set aside the idea that you need to be fixed and begin to trust that you're exactly where you need to be. You today, listening to this podcast, is exactly where you need to be. We are learning and growing, becoming and being, trying and exploring, and that is enough. More than any time, I wish you self-love, because you owe yourself that more than anything. Drink hot tea on cold days, sleep when you're tired, and remember to stop and play and breathe. This moment, like all moments, is an instant of pure possibility. What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. So I'm raising my cup of tea today to new beginnings. From my heart to yours, I wish you a beautiful new year.
That is it. Thank you so much for spending your most precious asset with me, which is your time. I am so grateful. If you like what you hear, please take a quick second to hit subscribe, write a review, and share with a friend. Spread the love. If you think it's something they could benefit from, that will make a huge difference to keep this podcast going. I make it my mission to bring you as much valuable content as possible and absolutely incredible guests. I am back every other Sunday. Thank you so much again for listening, and I hope you have an amazing day.